Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram.
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 Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya.
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 Om Namah Shivaya.
Om Namah Shivaya.
Om Namah Shivaya.
Om Namah Shivaya.
Om Namah Shivaya. Wonderful. What a blessing you came as today.
So as a power is, it is just
Want to check again?
yeah. This is fine.
Okay.
That is yeah. This is yeah. That is good.
We'll switch off and switch on.
Yeah. Just something. Once you are on, yeah. Then just press is okay. Yeah. Just one press from it.
Yeah. Hari Om. Hari Om.
Hari Om. Hari Om.
The power is, I think, is getting charged now. It was charged, but I think it's not enough.
So otherwise also you can hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, we will try that. Otherwise.
Okay, just take this.
Let it be here.
Okay.
We'll have one more bhajan by the time that we'll give it one final try. Otherwise, we'll go ahead with the satsang. Yeah. So this is a very famous bhajan, but original version, very less people are aware of. The modified version, so many of you know. Raghupati Raghava Rajaram, original version. Raghupati Raghava Rajaram, Patita Pavan Sitaram. Raghupati Sri Rama sent the blessings and it is fixed now. start the satsang. Chanting of Omkara thrice. Take a comfortable posture. It is fine. Yeah. Hands in Chin Mudra or clasped together, whatever is convenient for you. Eyes are gently closed. Pay attention to the breath. Breathe in, and as we breathe out, let us chant the Omkara. Let us breathe in. Breathe in. Breathe in. Let us all chant Asatoma Sadgamaya together. Asatoma Sadgamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Slowly and gently, you may open your eyes. Relax the hands. Join me in few more prayers. Many of you may already know. Sada Shiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsachanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. Hari Om. Very happy to be with you all for today's talk on Bhagavad Gita and the Satsang. You may go ahead if you have some things you want to sit with for the lecture. You're welcome to sit. Suit yourself. Most of you are very familiar with a beautiful shloka from Jagovindam. Adi Shankaracharya says, Bhagavad Gita Kinchita Dhita Ganga Chalalava Kanika Pita Sakrita Pigena Murari Samarcha Kriyate Tasya Yamena Charcha Bhaja Govindam Govindam Bhaja Mutamate. This captures our attitude and the place of Bhagavad Gita, attitude towards Bhagavad Gita and the place of Bhagavad Gita in our entire scheme of things in Sanatana Dharma. Bhagavad Gita Kinchita Dhita. For that person who undertakes the Adhyayanam, the study of Bhagavad Gita, what totally fine, everything, Kinchitapi, even if it is a little study,
That is enough. Yes, if one wants to do a detailed study, like you're all doing the Gita Vichara, Pujya Swamiji's 9 volumes of home study, yes. But even with little Adhyanam, study of Bhagavad Gita, Kinchita Gita, Ganga Chalalava Kanika Pita. In one's lifetime, even if you partake a little waters of Mother Ganga, Gangaji is a representation of Jnanam. Jnanam. What is Jnanam? It is a knowledge of Nitya Vastu, that which is eternal. And those of you who have been to our Swami Dayananda Ashram Rishikesh or Uttarakhand for Yatra, you know Ganga is ever flowing. Very near. Am I able to, are you able to hear?
Yeah, we do.
It's eternal flow. Some of the rivers in south, they dry up in summer, but then they're again active in the monsoons and rains. So the speciality of Mother Ganga, she's flowing 365 days. Mother Ganga is flowing 365 days. Ever flow. The flow is continuous. The river is fresh. Nityam. Nutanam. It's ever fresh. So there's a Zen koan, like a riddle, which says you can never take bath twice in the same river. So you go to Gangaji and you pray and you take a dip. By the time you come down, it is not the same river, it's a fresh new river. Even though we call her Ganga again, but the waters have changed. It's fresh. So Gangaji is representation of knowledge. That which is eternal, that which is ever present, that which is ever present. So one who has partaken a little bit of Gangaji also, Shankaracharya is telling, that person who has consumed even little jalam of Ganga. That means what? Okay, one Uddharana Ganga water I take, is that fine? Yes, no problem. But in the previous days, Ganga going to Haridwar and Rishikesh was a yatra. And then people used to take so much trouble, go there, and not like today's visit to Rishikesh. You go, fly, and there is a helicopter ride already booked. You go, taka, one after another you do, and then you come back. They offer the package also like that. In 4 days, 5 days, 1 week, we will do the entire Char Dham Yatra. In the previous days, people used to spend time in Rishikesh by the waters of the Ganga. That means what? They have the access to all the ashrams that are situated on the banks of the Ganga. What is there in ashram? Good food? Yes, that is there in our Gurukulam, definitely. But what is the primary purpose? Knowledge. Knowledge. So that used to happen. So that person, Acharya Shankara says, that person who has done even a little adhyanam of Bhagavad Gita, and then who has taken even little drops of Ganga Jalam, because the Ganga Jalam itself is Pavitram. And then when you look at Gangaji as knowledge, one who has even little bit of knowledge, who has internalized the knowledge. Then Bhagavad Gita is also standing for knowledge. Gangaji is also standing for knowledge. What is the use of for what reason Shankaracharya ji is using the same expression twice? It is to indicate that not only you study the Jnanam, you should internalize it. You should internalize it. As we consume water and becomes part of us, similar should be our attitude and the approach and the way we study Bhagavad Gita, not some piece of information. Sakritapi yena murari samarcha. That person who has done the puja of Bhagavan Murari very well. So you do not restrict it to one form. The word Murari is indicating all the forms of Bhagavan. So whatever is your Kula Devata, Ishta Devata, Griha Devata, Grama Devata, whatever is your connection with, one who has done the puja, archana of that Lord very well. And that archana is not only with flowers, that offering to Lord is through all the different duties, responsibilities, the karmas that we do are also the flowers that we are offering to the Lord. Usually, we restrict our puja. That's all. This is pretty clear. It's pretty clear. So, sometimes our definition of puja becomes restrictive. But in the vision of Sri Krishna, the archana or the puja is not only half an hour or 1 hour that we do. It is broader. It is very, very broad. Because it is understood in Sanatana Dharma, a common man's understanding. Everyone, we all started there somewhere. What is that? For one who does puja very well, gets connected to Bhagavan. If that is so, why should we do it only half an hour? Why can't we do it 24 hours? Is that a possibility? Is that a possibility that we are in the temples or in the Garbhagriham or the Puja Griham our entire day? Then it doesn't become practically possible, even though attitudinally we may want, but it may not be practically possible. But that's why Sri Krishna, Paramatma, gives what is that real puja. That puja is not only the offering the prayers that we do in the puja room, it is to do with one's entire duties, entire life. Mat karma krit mat paramaha mad bhakta sangha varjitaha nirvaira sarva bhuteshu yassamameti pandava. Shri Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, so who reaches me? That person who does puja reaches me. So very good upayam. Let us all do puja with flowers, naivedyam, dhupam, deepam, shodashopachara. Let us continue to do. It doesn't seem, you cannot take time like that. You have your duties and everything. So Krishna broadens the definition of puja itself in Bhagavad Gita. Mat karma krit, mat paramaha. That person who keeps me as the goal and does all the things that are to be done, all of them become puja. Not only flowers. You are offering food to your son or daughter, that is also puja. You are helping somebody through your job or work or business, that is also puja when you do it with a reverential attitude, keeping Bhagavan as the goal. That also becomes puja. Sakritapi yena manjari samarcha kriyate tasya yamena na charcha. So that person who lives life like this will never have argument with Yamaraja. Charcha means what? Discussion, argument. Swamiji, what is this? Who has discussion with Yamaraja? Nobody seems to have charcha with Yamaraja. What does Shankaracharya ji mean there? You see, what is that argument that we have is the ICU, intensive care units. You want to go, Yama doesn't want you to come. You want to be here, Yama wants to come. You want to be there, family members want to switch off. This is the argument. Who wants it? No, none of us want it. None of us want to land up with Charcha with Yamaraja. One is Yamaraja represents death. That is one thing. And also Yamaraja represents fear. We do not want to do anything with death. We do not want to have argument with death, nor we want to have arguments or conversation or discussions with fear. We do not want them. So that person who has the jnanam of Bhagavad Gita, who has internalized it, will never have charcha, discussion with Yamaraja. That's why need for Bhagavad Gita. What is the need for Bhagavad Gita? To live a life which is free of fear and which is free of complications. Free of complications. That's why need to approach Bhagavad Gita. Now the topic that we have chosen for today's satsang is the central message of Bhagavad Gita. All of you, most of you are part of Gita Vichar group. How many of you have been having some background of Bhagavad Gita? Or a lot of people.
The people in the behind, they are part of the Gita Vichar.
Gita Vichar. So, the central message of Bhagavad Gita that we have taken for our discussion today is a very, very simple one and a profound one. We often, when we are doing the Adhyanam of Vedanta, we often wait for something bigger to come. It should be something else. Maybe it is something else. You're approaching first chapter, then you feel that no, maybe something else in the second chapter. Third chapter, you're having an understanding of third chapter, but you think that no, this is not maybe the final truth is there in the fourth chapter. Then you wait for fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, it goes on and on and on. 18th chapter also, sometimes you're not, then you wait for maybe I will get it in the second round. No. It is here and now. If you can find it, you will find it in first chapter itself. If you can find it, you can find it in second chapter itself. You need not wait for something to come. This is a big human problem. Sahajam na rochate, kathinam na pachyati. What is simple, we don't like it. And what is difficult, we cannot digest it. Bhartrhari says this. See, if you give tayar sadam, it is very simple, nobody likes it. But you get a very complex dish, some 3, 4, 10 varieties you cook and serve, next day the person is unable to digest it. That is our human predicament. Simple things, unfortunately, have lost appeal to us in our life. As students of Vedanta, we must look into ourselves. What is this? How is it that simple things have failed to appeal us? The sun, the moon, the stars, the wind, the rain, the snow, nothing seems to appeal us. We go through each and every day as if none of it matters to us. None of it matters to us. No, so many people are there who are complaining in all seasons. During summer, they're complaining of heat and humidity. In winter, they're complaining about snow and cold. And in spring, they're complaining of allergies. So that person doesn't have any shanti throughout the year because always complaining. Nothing appeals. Nothing seems to appeal anymore. What sort of life is this? If we are moving forward, where we are missing everything around us and waiting for something to happen, for something big, something big, something big. We crossed the oceans, came to a different country, got a good job. At that moment, it felt, yeah, that is it. But soon, we lost charm. We lost all the happiness out of it. First house was rented. We thought very good, comfortable position. Fine. No. We got our first house. Very happy, Griha Pravesham and everything. Stopped appealing to us very soon. We got bigger space. That has also stopped appealing. Now it has stopped appealing. It is a burden now because everybody is complaining all the time. This has to be cleaned, that has to be fixed. There's a leak there, there is something there. We seem to be unhappy, not pleased in life, even in material life. And unfortunately, we come to spirituality, seems to be having same orientation, where we are again waiting for something, waiting for something, waiting for some, not this, may not be this, may not be this, not this, not this. In fact, if at all you are using that, not this, you should do it completely. Neti, neti. Na iti, na iti. But we don't take it like that. We are only waiting for this, not this chapter, not that, not this Swami, not that Swami. Alas, nobody is going to miss out. Swamis are not going to miss out. Books are not going to miss out. Who is going to miss out? It's me. It's me who seems to be living life like this, without meaning, without really being in the present moment, without really imbibing the simplest things and the most profound things of human life. So Hari requested me that you are all entering the 7th chapter to give you all a background and also something about the chapters that you are going to study further. As few of you may be already aware, Bhagavad Gita can be looked upon in 3 parts. 6 chapters each. The first Shatka, the first 6 chapters, do the Tvam Pada Shodhana. Tvam means you. Very, very deep analysis about oneself. Then the next 6 chapters are the discussion on the Tat Pada, on Bhagavan, on that higher power, Ishvara. And the next 6 chapters, the 12 to 18 chapters, are focused on integrating both, thus giving the Mahavakya Tat Tvam Asi. Tat Tvam Asi. Now, in the first 6 chapters, what we do, what we should take the message that we have to take in through our analysis is about seeing oneself in the light of Shastra. We are doing the Tvam Pada Shodhana. Is it just some intellectual exercise, gymnastics that we are going to do? It's not that. When you pay attention, you see from the message of Gitacharya, especially in the 2nd chapter, we come to understand, we come to realize that we are obsessed with just the physical body. Our identities have tied to just the physical body. We don't seem to have anything more further than the physical aspect. So the first 6 chapters, especially in the 2nd chapter itself, Sri Krishna shows us in detail the real you is not just the physical body. There's something deeper to you, something deeper to your whole being, something deeper to your existence. And what is that? That is the Atma Chaitanya. Nahanyate hanyamane sharire. The shariras come and go, but there is something more fundamental and deeper aspect in you. May you recognize that. The whole Vedanta Shastra is recognition. Recognition is a beautiful word in English. Recognition means what? Recognize. Cognize. We keep cognizing various things, but sometimes we miss out even though it is there. We put our spectacles like this and then we search the whole whole house. But what to be done when you touch? What are you doing? You're essentially recognizing that which was ever present. So Vedanta is praptasya praptihi. There is no new thing which is going to come one day. It is only recognition of that which is ever present. That's Sat Vastu, that is Sat, Sachidananda Atma Chaitanya, which is ever present, which is ever there. The first 6 chapters of Bhagavad Gita, especially second chapter, gives full clarity about one's own true self. We are so much tied to the false self, to the false identity. What is false identity? Which is a vyavaharika identity. That's all we are calling it as false. We take it too seriously. We take those roles that we play too seriously. All the problems in life, I tell you, is because of what? We take our roles too seriously. Too seriously. That's all. If we can have that approach of not taking the roles too seriously, life will be such a joyful game. It's a child's play. In fact, how should the roles be approached? How should we take our roles? Swamiji, should we not be serious about me being as a mother, father? Are you advocating complacency and neglect? No, not at all. Then how do you approach? With the same seriousness of a child which is playing a game, which is taking a role in a house game of the child. So seriously the child is taking the role, isn't it so?
Yeah.
So totally involved. But after half an hour, it closes the game and goes to something. With such seriousness, we should approach all our seriousness of a child. We should approach all our roles. So as a mother, same seriousness. As an employee or an employer, you're done. 9-10 hours, you have done it. So leave it. Once you walk into home, recognize what you are, truly are. I mean, there is another role. And then while you sit and do vichara, while you meditate, while you do puja, may you come in touch with your true nature, which is the self, which is the Atma Chaitanya. And once there is full clarity about it, this clarity of knowledge, it is going to be with you throughout the day in all the roles while you're doing all the roles that you're doing. So central message of Bhagavad Gita, I would say, clarity in thoughts, sincerity in actions. So if you ask me, Swamiji, what is the central message of Bhagavad Gita? Clarity in thoughts or thinking, clarity in thinking, sincerity in action. Now it's very simple, doesn't appeal to us much. Swami, if at all you say Athato Brahma Jignasa, probably it would have been better. No. You take any chapter, any verse of Bhagavad Gita, you can categorize into these 2 categories. Clarity in thinking, sincerity in action. So the entire Bhagavad Gita is to integrate our life with knowledge and in good actions. Good actions. There's no escape from actions. You got to do all the time. There's one after the other. But then what? If you do not identify yourself as a karta, there's freedom in actions here and now, in and through all the actions that you are going to do. That is the central message of Bhagavad Gita. In fact, the second chapter itself is complete in itself. Verse number 11 to 31 or 32, when you look at it, Whole of Bhagavad Gita is there only. So one scholar had this unique perspective. He said the whole of Bhagavad Gita is in second chapter. All other chapters are explanation of that second chapter. Commentary of second chapter is the entire rest of the 16 chapters of Bhagavad Gita. So in the Twampada Shodhana, we must pay again and again, pay attention to all the panchakoshas of ourselves, 5 layers of wrong identifications. So it's not that for 6 chapters are studied and you leave it aside. No, you look at yourself in that light. Now, am I having that attitude that I am just a Karana in the hands of higher power Ishvara? Do I look at myself just as the instrument performing what is to be performed in and through all my roles? If you have it, then you have understood the Karma Yoga. You may not recollect the shloka, it's okay. Memories fade. But if you're living your life like this, then you have internalized the message of the second chapter or third chapter. And if you are able to appreciate your true nature as Sachidananda Atma in your Nididhyasana, in and through all your functionings of life, you have got it. That knowledge is very much there. That knowledge is very much there. What we lack is not really knowledge. If you have done the Adhyanam of Gita, home study, or the many classes and many retreats that you've all been coming to ashram or listening to many things, definitely that knowledge is there. Then effort must be put in for what? For what? For what purposes we have to put forth our effort? Pujya Swamiji in the home study, Bhagavad Gita home study, beautifully gives this perspective. In fact, it happened now today. So Naresh was bringing me from Gurukulam to here. So instead of entering the lane or the road in which Hari's house is located, he went into the lane where his house is located. How did it happen? He had Hari had told him, "You bring Swamiji to my house." Didn't he have that knowledge? He has that knowledge. He is the one who came. He knows that there is satsang today. I have to drive Swamiji to Hari's house and we have to come here. But yet, somehow he went into the lane of his house. Orientation may persist in spite of knowledge. This is the heading that Pujya Swamiji gives in the Gita home study. Now you find it. Homework is what? You find where it is. See, the orientation is something hard to change. It's not that you don't have knowledge. Everybody has knowledge. Now, suppose I ask each one of you to talk something about Bhagavad Gita, definitely you have this thing. I can see that some of you have been studying from a long term. You may be very well in having that knowledge of shlokas of Gita. Maybe you can do Anvaya. Maybe you can connect. Maybe you're empowered to read Bhashyam and all that. But what we have to look at ourselves is whether orientation is there in spite of knowledge. What is this? While I am studying Bhagavad Gita, I have this knowledge that I am the Purna Atma. But as soon as I am interacting with my wife, children, and husband, I'm all the time Apurna, Munu Samsari. What is this? Orientation may persist. We got to put forth effort each and every day in changing the orientation. I have the knowledge, but somehow something takes me to my old habits, to old ways of thinking, to same anger, to same non-acceptance, to same regret, to same comparison. Now I got to change it. How does that happen? That's why Manana and Nididhyasana. That's why repeated Shravana Manana Nididhyasana also. Pauna Punyena Shravanam Kuryat. Repeatedly. A garlic is stored in a box and then you take out the garlic and then you wash it once with soap and dishwasher also you put it. Now you smell it, still smell persists. So these wrong thinking, wrong orientation, comparison, jealousy, regret, all of it are there in the system for 30, 40, 50 years. It has got in it. It doesn't go in one wash. So that's why repeated washes, extra rinse, extra rinse. So that's when one fine day you recognize, as even you are doing Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana, even during the journey, you recognize that, Arey, I don't seem to be having those orientations anymore. Situations of the life are not disturbing me the way it used to. The intensity with which I'm reacting is not the same. Life is happening, but yet I'm responding to it, not reacting. I'm responding. So that is an indication that this knowledge is working. Knowledge is working already. Moksha, freedom, is here and now. After first 6 chapter itself. You need not go to 7th. But if you wish, you definitely can. Purna Adhyayanam has to be done. So we go forward. So that is what is the emphasis, and especially in the 6th chapter, the ending chapter of Bhagavad Gita, first Shatka, Shri Krishna gives us a few sadhanas to change this orientation. He has given the jnanam, which is to be got in Shravana Manana in 2nd, 3rd chapters, all of it. Now, how come suddenly he is introducing meditation in the 6th chapter? Dhyana Yoga or Atma Sanyama Yoga. Another name for Dhyana Yoga is Atma Sanyama Yoga. Sanyama means control or mastery. Atma here meaning not the Sachidananda Atma. Atma here refers to mind. Mano, Buddhi, Ahankara, Chitta. All of it you can take. So we need a Sanyama there. We need Sanyama there. So the guided meditations and the Nididhyasanas help us to gain that Atma Sanyama, Chitta Nischalata, Chitta Nischchalyam, so that we can appreciate this Jnana. So that we can appreciate this Jnana. There was once a senior monk, senior sannyasi, and a new person who has come, a new brahmachari. They were walking. And the brahmachari, they come near a pond. So brahmachari points out to the guru, it is very dirty. I would like to clean it. So he said, okay, guru said, okay, do it. So he got few pots or some things. He said, there's too much mud in this water. I will take out all the mud from this pond. I'll throw it out. And then he kept on doing. The water became even more dirtier. He came out and said, Guru, is there a solution? Guru said, just wait. Just wait. Allow it to happen. He saw in about 10 hours or one day, all the particles had settled. Next day morning, he was surprised. He could see the crystal clear waters of the pond. How did it happen? How did it happen? We just allowed everything to settle down. So in life, we do too much urgency for everything because outer world is structured like that. If you do not run, somebody else will take your spot. If you do not pursue, if you do not really run the whatever rat race, cat race, except human race, every race is there. If you don't do that, somebody else is going to go for it. But here in Adhyatma, we cannot hurry up like that. We cannot hurry up like that. So what we can do, systematic manner, slowly, with focus, we can approach Bhagavad Gita or the Shastra and allow the Shastra to do its work. What is this orientation that I do everything? I do everything. Doesn't work. Then if you were to do everything, then what is the need of Guru and the Shastra? Right? You can do it. You can do yourself everything. Learn Tamil in 30 days. Railway station, they sell the book, no? Everything you can do it on your own now. Everything is there. So many YouTube videos are there. This are there. Everything. So this also can we pursue this pursuit like this, the same manner? Doesn't happen. This is a beautiful shloka which puts the entire pursuit in the perspective context. Acharya padamadatte padam shishya swamedhaya padam swabbrahmacharibhyah padak kala kramena cha. So how does, okay, Swamiji, how does this entire pursuit happen? How do we gain this clarity finally? Acharya padamadatte. You gain 25%, 25% moksha. 25%, say, just symbolically, you should not overanalyze it. Swamiji, how do you say 25%? I will gain 30. If you gain that, so. Acharya padamadatte. From the Guru, you gain the 25%. Swamiji, we heard Guru itself, we gain everything. Yes, that is also there. This is another perspective. Acharya padamadatte. You gain 25% from the Acharya. Where, how? In the Gurukulams, in the talks, in the books, in the many things that we approach, we gain the 25%. Now, this era has the advantage of YouTube. You can, big acharyas can come to your dining hall, TV room, kitchen tables.
Yes.
While you are walking, driving, Acharya is there next to me. My God, what is this? Pujya Swamiji was aware of it back in his time only. He said, I know all of you are listening to me on the earphones while walking, talking, driving in the house. He said, don't pull the Swami into the bathroom. We should not overdo also.
Yeah.
Not just because we have the access to all these great knowledge on the YouTube, it should not become like Carnatic kacheris. Like, Romba nanna irundhudu in the kacheri. Like, oh, that Swami spoke very well. This lecture is very good. That lecture, okay, all Swami, this is good, that is good. What about you? What have you gained? That's the question. So I advise, I suggest that no doubt today, big acharyas, great teachers of Vedanta, you're able to access their lectures, jnanam, on just a small telephone screen, but never miss out the attitude of Shraddha. Wherever you may be listening, it's okay. Secondary sadhana, not primary sadhana, not mukhya sadhana. So secondary sadhana, it's okay, but this knowledge doesn't work without Shraddha. You should not have a casual approach as if you're listening to a podcast. So wherever you are listening, it's okay as a secondary sadhana. Never miss out the reverential attitude. As even the class is starting, do a namaskar. Class is ending, do a namaskar. Bring that attitude so that you may be accessing this knowledge in today, relevant to today's world. At the same time, we are not missing out the bhavana, which is the main thing, which is the Shraddha, which is the main thing. Padam Shishya Swamedhaya. So another 25% you gain by Swamedhaya, by your own efforts, by your own clarity, by your own power of thinking, by your own Buddhi Shakti. So you gain 25%. Padam Swap Brahmacharibhyah. Another 25% you gain in the Satsang groups. While you are discussing with other people, while you are seeing other people. Oh my God, this person was all the time in parties. Now, so many Sundays, he is spending time for Gita. I see that person changing. I see that person growing. So I also, it makes an impact on me. Understanding comes passively also. I'm seeing this person so well they are studying, so many classes they are attending, so many they are taking Sanskrit also. Let me also get inspired Let me also try and do something. Some changes come. So it's not comparison like that. It's not that we have to race them or anything, but a positive influence. And in those discussions, we also gain, we gain 25%. So 75% is over. Then another 25%, how does it come? Padam Kalakramenacha. Allow time to do its magic. Allow time to do its magic. This was a bud last week. What happened in 1 week? How did it blossom into this beautiful flower that we want to always look at? How did it happen? Time. What kind time can do, nothing else can do. So leave it to time. You're putting forth your effort, no doubt. Putting forth your effort. If you observe a plant, it is putting all the effort. It is drawing water from the roots. We have a beautiful word for plants or trees in Sanskrit, padapaha. So those things which consume water from the pada, from the root, from the feet, roots. See the poetic way of seeing the word, so beautiful. We then in other languages we don't have that advent. Tree, it doesn't convey symbolic meaning of what the tree stands for. Sanskrit has so much symbolic meaning in every word you can take and analyze. So kala kramenacha. So we do Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana, we continue our sadhana, but yet we are also aware of the time factor. Because it's not that you are putting a time on it. The moment you put a time on it, Kala Titaha is what we are going to, we are aspiring for. But then you have become a prisoner in Kala. So give up the time factor at all. Just don't have it in your mind. When it has to blossom, when the flower has to blossom, it doesn't wait for anybody. Nobody can restrict it also. It just blossoms wherever it is. So similarly, this knowledge works. This knowledge works. Our prayers work. Bhagavad Gita works. That's why today, in spite of so much that has happened to Hindu Sanatana Dharma, we have access to Bhagavad Gita. Generations after generations, Guru Shishya Parampara is coming, Grihastha Parampara is coming, where this knowledge is had and celebrated. So leave it to time with focusing on Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana. At this junction of first 6 chapter, I would also like to tell you all another thing. The recipe works when everything is in right proportion. Isn't it so? You want to do Ade dosa. There's a recipe for it. You put all the things in whatever manner you want, it doesn't work. There is a proportion to it. Then alone you get the soft, crispy doshas. So that's how it comes out. So similarly, Brihadaranyaka Upanishad gives us the way to approach the Vedanta sadhana. Atma va are drashtavyo shrotavyo mantavyo nididhyasitavyaha. It is coming from Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, where the rishis are telling us to be on the path of Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana. When all 3 sadhanas are given to us, we should have it in the right proportion. When 3 are given, it is 3 equal proportions. So, if we look at a Vedantin's life or the person who is interested, all the time they're listening, but very less focus on Manana and Nididhyasana. No doubt they're very good listeners. They're attending classes, satsangs, study groups, Zoom classes, all of it. But there is good amount of Shravanam. In the same proportion, there is no Manana Nididhyasana. We should be aware of it. We should become aware. So each one of you look at your life and then how you're approaching. So set this proportion right. We must have time for Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana, all 3. Why? Why is that? Now coming to 7th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna, the chapter's heading itself is Jnana Vijnana Yoga. So no doubt, Shravana gives the Jnanam, you have to make it Vijnanam. Manana and Nididhyasana makes it Vijnanam. Shravana is the knowledge. Manana, Nididhyasana is the wisdom. You take in information and then you internalize it, then you must, that information should enable transformation. Otherwise, it will remain at the level of information. Now, I had so many egos. Oh, I am belonging to this family. I'm so and so person. I know this in terms of my educational qualification. I know driving. I know this thing. I know the world. I know how to invest. I know how to save. I know how to raise kids. I know Bhagavad Gita. It becomes one more kiritam that we put and walk around. In fact, the whole pursuit is to lose the ego. Now I become I become egoistic. Somebody says something, it feels, oh, that they're silly, they don't know. I know. I know. Should not be that. Whole of Vidya, that's why we have a beautiful name. It's called Adhyatma Vidya. Adi Bhautika Vidya is with reference to the world. Physics, chemistry, mathematics, driving, cooking, saving, all the knowledge is there in Adi Bhautika Vidya. Adi Daivika Vidya, the puja, prayer, Agnihotra, Sandhyavandanam, Homam, all of it with reference to Devatas. That is another stream of knowledge. Then what about this knowledge? Adhyatma Vidya, concerning myself. Not the world, not the Devatas. What is it all about? By myself. All about myself. My life. How best I can blossom in this life. Moksha is just blossoming, just as bud blossoms into a flower. Moksha is that. Here and now, we must make use of this great instrument, body, mind, sense complex that we have got, in order to understand who we truly are. Because all the time we are confused. Who am I? Whole confusion is about that. So, the 7th chapter, the focus is on internalizing this jnanam. So you make it vijnanam. Krishna uses 2 words nicely just to bring back our focus. Bring back our focus on the road, on the path. That you internalize it. It's okay, even if you don't know only one shloka of Bhagavad Gita, if you can live by it, that's enough. That's enough for life. Or you want to do all chapters, that's also fine. That's also good for life. But the whole point is not to miss out on the transformative element of this knowledge. We should not be that. You know, in Coimbatore Ashram, Arshavidya Gurukulam Anekati, we have one watchman, Ramani. So Ramani was a simple, humble villager. So he is working in the ashram from the time Puja Swamiji started the ashram. So Ramani is not educated. He doesn't know what is this. He is an honest person, loves to do his work. He's a watchman. He watches, does his duty properly. He goes to his house after the his shift. That's all his understanding. But he doesn't know what is this Gurukulam, what is this, nothing he knows any of it. So there was one more senior resident of the Gurukulam who was also there from very beginning with Puja Swamiji. From long time, he was also there managing a few things in the ashram. So he came to this person one day. Now, so many, what happens in Anekati ashram, a batch comes, 3-year course. Set of 80, 100 brahmacharis, brahmacharinis, grihasthas, everybody comes. They study for 3.5 years. They finish the course. They'll all be holding Bhagavad Gita, everything, this thing. They finish the course and go back to their lives. People go back to living grihastha life, no problem, because this knowledge is not about color of clothes. It's about what is your color inside. Is it black or what, white or red or orange, anger red or what? It's about that. So Ramani said, உங்கள் பார்த்துட்டே இருக்கே, so many, all the students are coming and then finishing and passing. Why are you failing every time? Why are you not passing the exam? He thought it's 3 years people study and pass and go out. Why are you, why have you not passed the exam? So our life should not be like that. We go on study, of course, as long as we continue to appreciate more and more depths of this study. But in Ramani's understanding, he has made a very big observation. Not right observation, but very big observation. We may go on holding books forever, but donkey also holds a load all the time. So even if we hold on to big books also, transformation may not happen unless you put forth your efforts on it. So that's why I said clarity in our thinking. Gita, all the knowledge you use in order to gain clarity in our thinking, should not leave it at that. Our every day, every action must be according to that vision, sincerity in action. That's all is Bhagavad Gita. Clarity in thinking, jnana, then our Brahma Vidya, then sincerity in action is the yoga. That's why after every chapter we say iti Srimad Bhagavad Gita, so then Upanishatsu Brahma Vidyaya Yoga Shastre Shri Krishna Arjuna Samvade. This is what we say. This is what is the central message of Bhagavad Gita. When as you are entering the 7th chapter, may you look at more and more in this aspect to internalize it and make it your own. Definitely, Gita blesses us to live a life free of fear, free of confusion, free of regret, free of hurt. What else is moksha? This is moksha. Just imagine a day, imagine your life without tension, without confusion, without regret, without hurt, without guilt, without fear. Isn't it moksha? If you don't think this is moksha, then you will never get it. Because people keep on showing in the movie, serial and all, the person dies and one light go ten, 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 ten. Wait, somewhere we wait for that to happen. Change the orientation. Not like Naresh going to his house like that. Change the orientation to freedom, moksha, to live a life of freedom. Freedom from what? Freedom from all the unpleasant and undesirable things. That's what is the central message of Gita. And I'm so glad and happy that you're all in the Gita Vichara, in Bhagavad Gita, already blessed, and it continues to bless each and every one of us. Om Tat Sat. You can have some question and answers if you have any questions regarding this topic or any other topic. You're welcome to ask.
Obviously, I have a question.
Yes, please.
How do we interpret Swadharma and Paradharma in today's way?
Swadharma is a very, very deep knowledge or deep concept in Sanatana Dharma, but it can be very simply approached also. Pujya Swamiji very beautifully says, what is Swadharma? What I need to do in a particular situation. That is my Swadharma. World has changed. Our roles have changed. So many things have changed. We cannot always hold on to reference of some ancient way. 50 years, 100 years, 1000 years. Everything externally, it has all changed dynamically. That is the uniqueness of Sanatana Dharma. On the external layer, the Dharma keeps on changing all the time. This is not how sannyasis probably used to dress at this time of Shankara. But we dress today with reference to what is applicable in today's society. So have we given up Dharma? No. But dharma, swadharma, at a deeper stage, these external things keep on changing. Nothing to worry about it. So external things keep on dynamic. But what is my swadharma? What I need to do in a particular situation, keeping all the basic fundamentals of dharma which never change: satyam, ahimsa, shanti, priti. All of these values I hold in my mind and do what is to be done at that situation. That's all is the swadharma. So now another question comes. When I look at my life, nobody wants to do adharma, but sometimes even my swadharma, I may not be able to do 100%. That's where we feel, what is this? This seems to be my swadharma, but I'm unable to do it 100%. Yes, nobody. Ideally, we would all wish that it is all done 100%. Sometimes it is not possible, but your effort must be to 100%. We lack 5%, 10%. It is okay. It is okay. What is more important is our intention and also our commitment to swadharma. What I got to do today in this situation. So I must do action with reference to that. So that becomes your swadharma. If it is time to eat, eating that time is your swadharma. If you got to give, giving that is your swadharma. If you got to take care of your kids, that is your swadharma. There is no one set menu. It keeps on changing. Situations keeps on unfolding. And you got to see what you got to do. That becomes your swadharma. Have I answered your question?
I have a follow-up question. So
Yeah.
there's confusion on what is to be done. How do
Confusion is going to be there. So Duryodhana says in Mahabharata, Janami dharmam nachame pravrittihi. I know what is dharma, but I'm unable to walk on that path. Janami adharmam nachame nivritti. I know what is should not be done, but I still do that. I know this much ice cream should not be eaten, yet I eat. See, it is as simple as that. We think dharma means only with reference to puja or something like that. No. I know that I have diabetes and I'm not supposed to eat this sweet, yet I eat. So so practicing swadharma there, small things. So bigger things become spontaneous. So we can avoid bigger confusions when we are following with clarity smaller actions. So we will have clarity with reference to bigger actions. And when there is confusion regarding what is to be done, what is not to be done, Upanishad, our dharma, gives a beautiful perspective. Atha yadite karma vichikitsa va vritta vichikitsa va syat etatra brahmana samharshinaha yukta ayuktaha aluksha dharmaka masyuhu, etc. So Upanishad says, may you take the guidance of a guru, of an acharya who has the knowledge of dharma adharma. Aluksha dharma kamas. They know, they have understood life in a bigger perspective. So that people, those good people in the society will be able to guide you when there is a big confusion which you yourself are unable to solve. That is the advice. Yeah. Paradharma. Yeah. So Paradharma, externally, with reference to external things also, you imbibe, do what is yours. You need not simply, what do you say, mimic somebody else's lifestyle, somebody else's way of living, just for the sake of mimicking. You need not do the paradharma, even in external forms, just for the sake of mimicking, or just the sake of fashion, just to be in trend. You need not do that. That is external aspect. And the deeper aspect, this way of living is built on very universal value system. There is no parallel to it, because when it is universal, there is no parallel. We are not saying we are the best, everybody is wrong or anything. We are just saying we are universal. When something is universal, there is no parallel to it. if there is parallel, that also should be universal. So you stick to what is best for you, what is best celebrated here in our way of living in Sanatana Hindu Dharma. So may you be moving forward with reference to that. Yeah. Yes, Sama.
Just building upon Swadharma, now the current bringing this into the real world, now we are facing this, the country is facing basically through caste discrimination, whether we are aware about it.
Yes.
It happened in Seattle, it happened in
Yeah.
now this medicine being very, so many our Dharma people. So as a citizen now, how can we really be a contributor to this? How can we really, everyone, how can we just stop this from not happening?
One is at the individual level. Individual level, you yourself and your family be very informed about what is happening and what is our way of living and thinking and doing. So be very comfortable in your own skin and protect that lifestyle, protect that goodness, protect that family values, our culture, tradition, all of it at the individual level. Whatever we can do, put forth that effort. And now also at the community level, at the national level, and with reference to the Indian origin communities and NRI communities staying here, you see, wherever you can attach yourself to stand up, wherever you can give your time, resources and voice. Sometimes you may not be able to give voice, then you give resources. If you're not able to give resources, give time. If you are not able to give time, give your voice. So in one or the other way, you must stand up to the goodness when your own fundamentals are under attack. So that is what becomes our Swadharma at a situation. Situation has unfolded. You should not be sleeping and be indifferent to it. So in one or the other way, whatever you can, positively you contribute to awareness and everything, whatever best possible way, in one situation, what one can do as grihasthas, one should do. Yeah.
I had a question on doing.
Yeah.
Karma. So this conflict, how do you resolve this conflict between to do and not to do? I'll give you an example, right? And the conflict between should I have done that to get into there is an expectation angle, but then you end up saying it will be looked at as what happens should have happened. You see the difference, the conflict of how do you deal with it?
Are you saying with reference to acceptance of karma phala like that?
No, in terms of conflicting between should we have done something to have a different outcome, and did we not play the role of what I should have done?
Got it.
Could be in any means, could be kids, could be any work, anywhere.
See, the thing in life is we must understand we make decisions only with reference to that knowledge that we have at this point of time.
Yeah.
Right? So suppose when you were 16 or 17, you chose a particular degree or a course with reference to all the knowledge and the background and the family atmosphere that you had. But now today, when you come to US, I wish I also had done medicine or law. That thought may come. No, but you made the decision with best of knowledge that you had at that point of time. So we accept it then. Even now, today, when we are making decisions, we are making decisions with reference to the knowledge that we have all the knowledge that we have at this point of time. So when you look at it in this manner, we will not have too many permutations and combinations in the mind. Should I have done that? If I had done this, this might have happened. This might not have happened. This, that. So totally, finally, I come to accept when I look at life, there is no other way. I make decisions with reference to the knowledge that I have at that particular point of time. And if it has not yielded the result that probably I'm expecting, still karmanyeva adhikaraste, there you still have option to further enhance that action through another action or advancement of the same repetition of an action, we must see what is more relevant and move ahead accordingly. Have I answered your question?
With one follow-up on that.
Sure.
The only key is you end up getting additional data to the past to the now. And the challenge is the conflict, right? Should that have not been available? Maybe I would have done differently. It's possible.
It's possible, but it is not available. What to do? What to do? It's not available.
Yeah, so I'm talking about how you manage the state of mind at that time.
So acceptance, the attitude of acceptance. I have done with best of my abilities in a given situation, and I accept myself. I may lack a few things, I still accept myself. That doesn't mean that I will not improve myself, but at this stage, I accept myself as I am also. Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
It might be an academic question. So that decision making,
Yeah.
is that a result of, is that a karma phala, or do I construe it as a free will? I'm able to decide to go one way or the other. I always have, it's very academic.
Okay, it's not your question, it's everyone's question. In all Satsang's questions, I'll give you a very, very practical thumb rule to approach it. Okay, life is not. We will leave the philosophical. The argumentation can go 3 days, like Mandana Mishra and Shankara. So we leave that. Okay, so practically for my day-to-day life, how shall I approach it? How shall I approach karma, karma phala, fate, destiny, free will, all of it? How shall I approach? Life is not one thing, not exclusive, only free will or only destiny. Doesn't work like that. It's a combination of free will and destiny. How I'll tell you how it is always a combination. Now your height is destiny, fate. So in Kannada there is this thing, Bhagavanta hane mele bardidane. Okay, that means what? God has written something on your forehead and sent you. I'm sure it must be there in all colloquial tongues also. So that means what? So there is a set height put on you and sent. Nobody can change it. Even if you wear 4-inch heel, that is only for half an hour or 2 hours, 3 hours. You have to, once you take it out, you are same height. So it's the same height, yes. So it's the same thing. Your height, nobody can change. That is your fate. Weight,
You can change.
weight, W-E-I-G-H-T. Is it fate or free will?
I think the combination.
You can say combination, but you see, just for practical example, of course, so many medical conditions, this, that, exceptions are always there, but generally speaking. So today, somebody said, our person in Gurukulam said, Swamiji, you are going to get very nice bhiksha in Hari's house today. So that is, so I eat a ton of whatever they serve and expect myself to be in the same weight. And I eat everything, and so in everybody's house, and I put on a lot of weight and say, this is my fate. I have to go to Bhiksha. So is it like that? No, it's under your control. If not total control, again, you can apply the same rule again there also. Is it in total control of my hands? No. Sometimes medical condition, even if I put forth effort, the result is this thing. But to a large extent, I have it in my control. You eat rasgulla and not expect blood sugar to go high. No, it doesn't have. It's in your control. So take charge of those elements of your life which you have control over. And there are certain fixed things we cannot solve. The family in which you were born, can you change that? You can't change. Whatever you do, you can't change. Some decisions that you took in this life itself in the past, you can't change. So destiny, fate, we agree, we accept. Now look at all the aspects of life where you have some control over it. Focus on that. So life moves smoothly. Now you can't argue with me for this. You can't. You try. I mean, not that you should do it now. In your mind, you think about it. You think about it and argue with yourself or my perspective, your perspective. It's a thumb rule of life. There are few things we cannot change. There are few things we can change. That's how it is.
we can take it as our past and the future also we can take it like that.
Yes. And I say, see, in the Bhakti Sampradaya, we have one more attitude in the Sanatana Dharma. What is that? It's all Bhagavan. It's all fate. We can't change it. Finally, it's all us. We say like that. No, Amara Naseeb hai aisa hai. We say like that. So even if that were to be there, there's nothing to worry in life, right? Because everything is destined anyways. What is to worry about? What is to be anxious about? Anyways, but that fate is going to take care. Then also there's nothing to worry. So we seem to have some ruchi for worrying. All the time want to worry. Okay, one last question.
Meditation.
Yeah.
When is the good time to do meditation?
Meditation, the good time to do morning is the Sandhya Kalam. Either in the morning sunrise time or the sunset time. That's the best time for meditation. Why, Swamiji? Can I do it in the afternoon? You are welcome to do, no problem. Do whatever time you want to do, at least do it.
What works for you?
At least what work, take time and do it. But the suggested time, at least you can try if you find time or if you can organize, is that because the deep sleep is full tamas. Absolute tamas, then you have a good sleep. Then you wake up. Then your mind is coming to a sattvic state. Sattva is full there. And especially when you have a bath, all the residual tamas from the body is also washed away. You are in a state of sattva. That's why if you look at our ancient way of living, after bath, spiritual practices were done. Japa or puja and all that. And even 40-50 years back, in India, it used to be like very regular thing to say, you take bath and then kids study. You tell kids to study in the morning. So they have like better absorption. So that's the Sandhya Kala. Morning. Evening, throughout the day, there is a lot of rajas. And again, the mind comes to a little sattvic state and goes to tamas. So if you see yourself, we are so active at 10, 11 and all that. And then again, our energies fade as even the evening is approaching. So we must take advantage of that sattvic state of mind to do some spiritual practices. That's the time. But there is, having said that, there's no particular muhurtam for doing meditation. Whatever time you sit is the sumuhurtam.
So in the evening, the energy phase is that's natural, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's nothing.
It's very nice.
Some bhajan,
We'll have a bhajan.
but we have I know you play veena or something, so we have a veena. Would you be able to play?
Suddenly I can't take take on. We'll do it. I would like to play sometime. So very nice to be with you all. For those of you who do not know me, Swami Sachidananda Saraswati, student disciple of Puja Swami Dayanand Saraswati Ji. So I had a great fortune of meeting Puja Swamiji at a very young age. So soon after my graduation, I had an interest to pursue spirituality, which took me to Puja Swamiji. And I suddenly happened to get Ishvara in One's Life, book of Puja Swamiji, out of the blue. And when I looked at it, I could not keep it down. So I kept on studying that entire book that night. And I told myself, I have to meet this person who wrote it. So I saw, then inquired a bit and understood that Swamiji is available to meet in Coimbatore. So that's how I went to Puja Swamiji as a youngster in Coimbatore. And initially, Swamiji was not at all very encouraging first few weeks. Then he asked my parents to come and meet him. So my parents came and met him. Then he knew that this is not some runaway case. He comes with full permission and encouragement and support of him, and that's very important. A young Puja Swamiji was very sensitive about it. A youngster comes, suddenly there is some, and after that there may not be interest. After that, you're a misfit in both the worlds now, so it should not be that. So after that, Swamiji with both his hands embraced me and gave his blessings in terms of teaching. And I had a great fortune to directly offer my seva to Pujya Swamiji in the Gurukulam while I was studying. And after Pujya Swamiji's Mahasamadhi, I moved to our Dayananda Ashram Rishikesh. That time I had an opportunity to meet with Swami Tattvavedanandji, Swami TV. I learned from him there in Rishikesh Ashram. Later, I was initiated into sannyas, and then I began teaching in our Rishikesh Ashram for classes, camps, retreats. Later, Pujya Swamiji had established one Arshavidya Kendra, a city ashram in Bangalore, in RT Nagar in Bangalore. So I was given in charge of that particular ashram. So from end of 2019, I began my taking classes in Bangalore Center. So then now I happen to be with the Gurukulam, and it will be an ongoing every year schedule coming here for the classes and other things. That's how the work of Pujya Swamiji continues. So the only instruction that he gave us is give this teaching. Spend your time in teaching this knowledge, which is not mine, which is not his, that we are receiving from Guru Parampara. So that's how I'm here. So good to see you all. And then suddenly we met. I met Hari in dining hall one day, and then again in M4 Seva meeting. Then I think Hari thought it was a good idea to have a satsang. Satsangs are always good. One thought can change your life. It's not, see, so many times it's not, whatever I might have said, it's not that you don't know. It's a reminder. It's a reorientation, refocus. That's what is so important in life. So happy to be with you all. Yeah, now I'm taking up an fellowship at Harvard University from this year. So in September onwards, I'll spend a few months there at Harvard for the fellowship at Harvard Divinity School. So our work continues in various manner, grounded in Shastra. Hari Om Tat Sat.
Thank you.
You have one more bhajan?
You want me to play it? You want to play this?
Let us try mic once more time.
Yeah. So there is another one.
You can keep this one.
You try.
This you need to keep it.
Oh, this is it. Hari.
I know, but what happened is we put it here, the voice will go adding back and forth.
Hari Om.
Pairing.
Hari Om. Okay.
You want to put it like this, Swami?
No, it's fine. This will be. Video like this. Okay. And also the satsang. Ganesh Sharanam Sharanam Ganesh Ganesh Sharanam Sharanam Ganesh Ganesh Sharanam Sharanam Ganesh Ganesh Sharanam Sharanam Ganesh Ganesh Sharanam Sharanam Ganesh
बोलो नारायण जय जय विठ्ठल बोलो नारायण जय जय विठ्ठल लक्ष्मी नारायण रंग रंग विठ्ठल लक्ष्मी नारायण रंग रंग विठ्ठल श्रीरंग विठ्ठल पांडुरंग विठ्ठल श्रीरंग विठ्ठल पांडुरंग विठ्ठल बोलो नारायण जय जय विठ्ठल लक्ष्मी नारायण रंग रंग विठ्ठल श्रीरंग विठ्ठल पांडुरंग विठ्ठल श्रीरंग विठ्ठल पांडुरंग विठ्ठल बोलो नारायण जय जय विठ्ठल रंग रंग विठ्ठल जय जय विठ्ठल रंग रंग विठ्ठल बोलो विठ्ठल भगवान की सनातन धर्म की सब संतों की हर नमः पार्वती पतये हर महादेव So tomorrow we are having a talk, Q&A session, chanting class where I'll be teaching Nirvana Shashram. Is scheduled at Arshavidya Gurukulam, Sellersburg. So the session starts from assembling at 9:30 in the morning. Then 9:40 to 10:40 there will be a talk on vision of the grand vision of Vedanta, followed by a chanting class, followed by Q&A. Then everybody can take arati and prasadam, lunch at the Gurukulam, and you can all come back to your homes. One Vedanta class, one chanting class of Nirvana Shaktam with explanation, and the Q&A session. So you are all welcome. To come. Yes. Okay. We will all take a moment to pray for the entire Jagat, for everyone through Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah. You may close your eyes and think of everybody, the family, every members, friends, citizens of the country, the entire humanity, all the animals, all the plants. Only when everyone is happy and fine, then alone I can be happy and fine. With that bhavana, let us pray for the entire world. Join me. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah Sarve Santu Niramaya Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschit Dukha Bhag Bhavet Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om Hari Om. Let us all have many more satsangs in days to come.
Yes.
So Hari Om Tat Sat.